Hello, I'm here with Rick Warm. He's one of the men who contributed to the book Soul Growing Wisdom for 13-Year-Old Boys from Men Around the World. Hi, Rick. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Would you read for us what you gave to me for the book?
Sure. I wish someone had told me to learn for life and not learn just for school and tests when I was 13. The truth is, someone did tell me that when I was about 17. He was a teacher of mine in an AP history class who clearly loved what he taught. He would always say, "Study for life, not for the test." But he still was a teacher and gave us tests and grades, and everyone knew that if you didn't get a good grade on the test, you wouldn't get a good grade on your report card. It took me graduating from high school, college, and graduate school, and into my young professional life, studying for the test before I realized what my teacher meant, but couldn't really uphold. Studying, or rather learning, is an act of love. When we learn for life, as opposed to learning for a test, we not only are better able to apply what we learn, but we develop a temperament of what can be called lifelong learning. Not only do we realize that learning helps us constantly grow and develop into the kind of person we can truly be, but it also educates us that change is the only real constant and prepares us to deal with change every day, even when we don't want to change. Of course, you will find that you will still have to learn for the test, and there will be subjects that you don't like and can't see the point of studying. But in general, if you begin to appreciate that learning is important for life and growth, you will always be that much more ahead of the curve and able to lead change and not just follow.
Thank you, Rick. How do we know each other?
How do we know each other? Some would say maybe previous lifetimes. In this lifetime, we
Yes.
met at a workshop, and over kind of a period of months or a year or so, we met once or twice and then became friends.
Yeah. We've known each other for about 7 years now. That's wow. I've enjoyed our connection. You bring a bit of fun and trickster energy into my life, which is great. So why did you say yes to the invitation?
Well, where I come from, when Quanita asks you to do something, you say yes.
Is there anything that you would add today that you didn't put in then?
I'm sure there is. I think, well, when did we write this? When was this? This was how many
This
years back?
was about 4 years ago.
4 years ago. So I have two sons, twins, that were a little older than that, a little older than 13 at the time, because they're now at about, I think they're about to turn 19. So, I had passed that period of time, and it was probably on my mind. I was thinking about how the boys how they would grow and develop. And now that they're in college, this is their first year in college. I think that this advice is still good. I think I would also add, though, that it's important to really get a sense of, to try just to discover who you are, and just to allow that time to allow that stuff to percolate, to find yourself, I think when you're young, you spend a lot of time trying to be somebody else. And yet there's something very strong about who you are at that moment that, as we age, tends to disappear, oftentimes until somewhere around midlife when we have a crisis of sorts. Who the heck am I anyway? So the stronger it is, younger in life, the more of an image that we can kind of ingrain in ourselves. I think the better we are capable of refining it if we lose it, or just hopefully holding on to it for most of our lives.
Thank you. My hope in sharing these interviews is that it adds another layer of conversation to the book. I think that for me, the book was such a gift to me just during that time to hear this wisdom from these men across different aspects of my life. But also, I think it is a good gift for not only 13-year-old boys, but the 13-year-old boy and all the men that I know. So thank you for participating.
It was my pleasure.